Hello, Libra Collective, Schoolhouse Intuitive here, and we're doing things a little differently here. We're doing things the way we used to do them a while back, and I'm giving you the overhead view. So let me know what you think of this, if you prefer this as opposed to how I normally do it, where I'm kind of to the side and you have the pretty background to look at. Still a pretty background, but now you can see the cards at all times. You have Treasure Chest. Success, reaping the rewards. I love that this came out. I've been thinking about the treasure card actually, because I think we had that in our 2025 forecast reading for around this time of year. So loving seeing that. I believe that's what we had for August. All right, let's see what we have for you. I have done your August reading, Libra. All right, this is a general reading, could pertain to any area of your life, right? It's just what needs to most come in for us. What do we have? Oh, it's taking a while here, right? Let's see. Fast forward, I guess. You don't want to see the shuffling. Okay. Sea glass, your future is being rewritten. Metamorphosis, I love this for us. What else do we have? I'm picturing just lots of pretty colors, just that calm kind of energy, the smooth edges. So maybe things are going to be a little smoother, be able to breathe a little easier. Flamingo, finding some balance. So metamorphosis, moderation, and success. I like where it's going. Let's see what we have. Crab. Could have Cancer in your chart. I know a lot of you do, as do I. So yeah. All right. Okay. Consider the unconventional. Take a sideways approach. Let's see what else we have for Libra. I'd like to do 5 altogether. 5, 5. Top. Okay. Seagull. Oh, yes. Oh, how funny is that? Bird's eye view. You can't make it up, right, Libra? This was the right decision, I think. And I just saw 222 on the timer. Thanks for that angel number, guides, angels. So you're getting a bird's eye view right here. And it's so funny because I was already like in that energy and now doing this reading at a bird's eye view, and then you get bird's eye view. I mean, this is how the readings go here. I absolutely love it. Love what I do here for you, with you. Let's see what else we have. We're going to use the Curious Travels Tarot deck by Amelia Rozear, published by US Game Systems Incorporated. I do have permission to use it, photograph it, all that, so I am making sure that I mention it fully. So I have permission from actually most of the decks I use. I actually wrote to them and asked for permission. Can you believe it? All right. They were like, you're the first person to ever do that. Well, I don't know. All right, let's see what we have. You have the 3 of Cups. So what are we celebrating? Look at this. Maybe we're celebrating the success. Maybe we are celebrating some sort of rewards wanting to come in. Notice the pumpkins here, Libra. This is a time of harvest for a lot of us, even though it's not quite, autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. This is, which is where I am. This is still a time when gardens start coming, showing their fruits. Actually, I have our garden oracle here for us to use, but you'll see there are carrots and tomatoes and sweet potato and pumpkin and all this, and it's like the leaves are almost looking like butterflies to me, and that brings me right into that metamorphosis. We are celebrating this change. We are celebrating success that is part of us rewriting our future. How do we really want it to be? We keep getting Magician card in every reading I'm doing on this channel and my other channel. Like I love it. We're now in a time of Magician energy. And you have the 2 of Pentacles. Now, you may not think this is similar to the Magician, but it actually kind of is, in that it's really about where we put our attention and our resources. That's what will grow, right? That, like, where you water your garden and take good care of it, that's where it's going to be the most, it's going to grow the most. Okay. I'm at a loss for words. Mercury retrograde. I don't know what to say, but anyway, 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. There's usually, turbulence in the background in the water. So it could be like something emotional or something on a global stage that connects us all. Could be feeling you know, people could literally have their arms raised and up in an uproar and all that. I am doing this reading over a week in advance, so who knows what's going on, but I don't try not to get into a lot of that here anyway. I'm saying, though, you could be feeling as though you're pulled in different directions. Isn't that funny how this crab, look at how that kind of, it reminds, like they almost, because they now have like almost pinchers for arms, it reminds me kind of a crab. And it is like, consider an unconventional approach. Again, also relating right back to this, find your balance, find your footing. It's okay to not take steps right now, but maybe the steps you are taking are planning steps. That's still putting your energy and your focus, big card of focus, where you want to go. All right, you're bringing yourself to where you want to go. And Mercury retrogrades are great for revisiting things that you've been meaning to, you know, organizing, cleaning, projects, plans, all of that, even collaboration. You know, it could be good for a lot of things. But it can be that you're revisiting something, thinking of an alternative way to maybe make an old dream possible. Let's see what else we get, though. What else do we have? Oh, this one. Okay, 10 of Cups. This is beautiful. This is bliss, right? Now, one thing that is capturing my attention, and maybe yours, now that you can see the cards just like I can with this new view. Old view, actually, you know, revisiting something just like Mercury retrograde, right? But it's an eclipse, right? And we do have an eclipse season coming up, and something may need to really shift for us in our own personal lives. It's going to be different, pardon me, for all of us. But yes, each one of us has a different dream, right? Each one of us has a different, what would be considered bliss, right? But each one of us also has a unique set of skills, talents, abilities. And we also have, well, we all have the same amount of time. How we allocate our time and our resources, which, you know, time is our number one resource, pretty, like one of them anyway. Our health, you know, time. Where we put our attention and how we use our time varies. Okay, so on an individual level, we're being encouraged, like on an individual level, if we really want to see this metamorphosis, if we really want to reap the rewards, we may need to consider what needs to go. A lot of the times, you know, I don't want to oversay it, sound trite here, but when one door closes, another one opens. Sometimes in order to get that door to open ahead of us, we have to close the one behind us. It just doesn't work otherwise, right? We can't be moving on and holding on to the past. And some of us, it's just, that's what we do. You know, we're emotional creatures. And so I feel as though for a lot of us, especially Cups having to do with emotion and intuition and, you know, your bliss and everything, I feel as though because it does have that eclipse, it's like this moon is kissing that sun goodbye. See ya. Gotta go. Be the star I am, right? We keep getting star in readings too. So let's see what else we have. So it could just be something you have not quite considered. You have the 10 of Wands. Some of you, there's this word entanglement has been coming up in readings lately. It came up in the Leo birthday bonus reading I did on the other channel, but it is a different card. But this is about something that has really burdened you and weighed you down, has the potential to go a different way, but it's a matter of perspective for some of us, okay? It could be. That's not for everybody. Not all the messages are going to resonate 100% for everybody. Of course not, duh, right? To bring back a word from the 90s, whatever. But, you know, this is like, we have the ability and the power to shift the winds in the direction we wish to go, or what would be most beneficial for us, right? We do have some free will and final say when it comes to most areas of our life still, even though other things may be out of control. Do not lose your footing. Don't get swept away, right? Continue to focus on what you do have to celebrate. the fruits of your labor that you are seeing kind of come in. Think Seven of Pentacles, and leading to this happiness, the abundance, the emotional fulfillment, satisfaction. It comes in many different forms, right? It's not just dollars in the bank account. It's about releasing what does not serve you as part of our metamorphosis, and readjusting how for some of you, it's a total life change. I'm just going to tell you, some of us are in total life change, awakening, rebellion kind of energy this year. It's happening. That's what I'm getting for the end of July. I've been getting it for a while. There's things going on big levels, but things going on within all of us, which are also big, because when you think about it, we are kind of the center of our own individual universes, but we are also part of the larger collective. Bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Swords. We can't be lying to ourselves, though. We need to face something, I feel. For some, it's just our own independent truth. What matters most is how you see yourself. What matters most is how you talk to yourself. I look at this like Two of Swords. They're really focusing me in on that Two of Swords, because I'm seeing cross two swords, and then I see two swords over the eyes, and it makes me think of that Two of Swords like choice energy, but someone maybe not using their intuition to its fullest. And I feel like a lot of us are kind of guilty of that, even myself, like, and I'm intuitive, as I have a channel where I channel, and like do channels where I channel. And like, still, I myself sometimes have a hard time getting untangled from responsibilities, doubt, self-doubt, those old patterns, that Nine of Swords behavior, or the Seven of Swords, where I'm just maybe not truly facing something that needs to be faced, really, or just lying to myself in some way. You could also feel as though there has been some sort of betrayal from the past, even, that is still influencing today, and that you know what you need to do there, right? We need to do the work. This is also, I feel, for some of you, the monotony of the day-to-day is also something that could be affecting your ability to receive messages from the divine, because I'm also thinking of like Four of Swords energy with this card, even though it's a Seven of Swords. I'm getting that you need to rest, retreat, get into nature, be still. I've been saying this for a while. You yourself have what you need within you. You have the answers. Readings like this, great confirmation for you, right? But I always say, you come here already knowing this. All right. And one thing you need to know is you're worthy of beautiful, wonderful, magical things, and you're actually capable of creating that. What else? Whoop, I just saw the Two of Swords. Is that the two? Yeah, that's the Two of Swords. So just saw it, flipped right out. There it is. Two of Swords. Are we blocking our own path? Are we not following our bliss? Are we having a hard time managing it all? Maybe you're caught up in the same kind of routine over and over and over, and you're like, it's not actually, you kind of maybe feel like you're spinning your wheels in mud, like you're not actually getting anywhere, but you're using all your energy and all your time and resources on a life that's maybe not so fulfilling. Potentially. You'll know if it's your reading. If it's not, thanks for stopping by. All right, what else do we have for the Libra Collective? Six of Pentacles. For whatever reason, I'm getting couch potato. The saying, like someone who just is like kind of lazy. I'm not saying that's you. You could be feeling, though, again, like as though you just want to retreat. Maybe you're actually dealing with somebody where like you're doing all the work, and you're dealing with someone who you would call like lazy or a couch potato. Maybe you yourself are dealing with someone like that. And it also could be that some of you are coming from an energy where you have been hiding from the world in some way, hiding gifts, hiding talents, hiding maybe not wanting to be seen. Maybe you're not in great shape anymore, or you don't like the way you look, or you're not just feeling your best right now. Maybe since COVID, even, you've kind of things shifted for you, and you haven't gotten back on track fully, potentially. But I feel that we now have to pick up the pen and write our future. Maybe you're literally going to manifest through journaling or something, but this is, if we want the scales to shift, to change, right? If we want to do this, we have to figure out how we're going to balance like all the monotonous stuff in life, but also live a life that's worth living. So that's part of that, finding the balance. It's sort of like being true to yourself and also like living a regular life. Great, having to do all the day-to-day stuff, but making sure that you are injecting the day still into the day. You're injecting happiness and joy and what gets you going. Times when you're able to create. We have to be able to creating as an adult. It's like kind of like play as a child, right? So what is it that you want to explore? Take yourself on a little adventure. Do the day trip. Pick up the paintbrush. Do whatever it is that makes you feel that spark of life. That life is beautiful and life is worth living. Right? We have to get back into that energy. Some of us, maybe we haven't felt it since childhood, or maybe never really felt quite great. It's just going to be different for everybody. What else do we have? The Four of Pentacles. Again, I feel like for some of us, we're maybe hanging on to the past, or someone may be hanging on to us, or we're still retreating within, but like in an unhealthy way, because sometimes we can, and no judgment here. Okay. I've come from a place of that myself, where I just kind of didn't want to see anybody for a long time. And, so I get it. But I feel like for some of us, it's like the world is waiting to see you. I'm getting a chill right now. Some of you, the world is, it's ready to shine on you. There's the sun. This is making me feel like Six of Wands, even though it's the Four of Pentacles. This person's like on the runway, but they have their back to what could be. They have their back maybe to love, to, happiness, to whatever it is that would actually fill your cup, so it could be you have, finances or a lack of resources or something, or you're thinking about, it's really important that we not focus on our weaknesses and things that we view as weaknesses anyway, and challenges. All right. We need to kind of like shift the perspective a bit here. Even if it's like one small thing we can find that we're good at, like run with it, All right. What else do we have? Yeah. Some of us are we're still in that withdrawing kind of energy. And it's very tempting to want to withdraw right now. I get it. I feel you too. I get it. It's something I'm working on myself, but we have to we just have to still let our own self shine. If you're feeling like you can't be yourself and you can't shine, and you have to tone it down or be less of you, then you're with the wrong people. Or, that's what I think. Like, there's a quote I found like last summer, and I shared it on the channel, and it's something like, if I'm too much, go find less, and that's what it feels like. Like, if you're too much for somebody or a situation, maybe they are the problem, right? Maybe it's not you. Like, if you're not out harming anybody or anything, and you're just being yourself, and you're like happy and positive or whatever it is, maybe you're not. Maybe you're more of like an introvert, and doesn't mean you can't be happy and positive, but maybe you're not too loud. So maybe you're not that. Maybe they say you don't do this enough. So it's like, who cares what other people think? That's what I feel like sometimes. Like, I've spent, I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of my life trying to please others, and I'm now not that happy. So like, I'm there, I said it, right? So let's not do that. Let's like hook arms and like support each other in this. Okay. I just saw a card, and I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with the deck, so I'm not sure which one. What? Whoa. Okay. So now we have a lot of cards out. Okay. You have, okay. Yeah. There's the word entanglement again. Two. Oh my goodness. Three. Okay. So some of us are, all right. So there's a very specific message. I get randomly specific messages. Some of us are tied to what we thought was like a soulmate or past trauma or something. We're like still entangled in that kind of energy. There needs to be some clearing of energy. I think literally decluttering spaces and things like that could help. Doing cleanses of any kind. There's something heavy on the heart when I have the Two of Cups and the Three of Swords. And it's like, maybe you thought this person you'd be together, or maybe you thought this was the dream job, and there's just something here. It's like I'm hearing the word lamenting. Like, we need to kind of need to jolt ourselves out of this energy. Leo season is a great time to do that, regardless of if it's Mercury retrograde. It is still fiery Leo energy. bold, lead from the heart, passion. That's why I love Leo season. All right. You have the Emperor and you have the Hierophant. So consider the unconventional way. The Emperor is, anyone who's ever done anything really like mind-blowingly innovative, people probably thought they were like cuckoo at first, right? Sometimes though, that's exactly the kind of, again, that jolt, that shocking everybody around us, and I feel like the Emperor kind of does that. I don't always get that off this card, but today I'm getting that. It's like, come up with some plans, think outside that box. Nothing's too crazy when it comes to being an Emperor. When it comes, if you want to stand out, you have to literally stand out. You have to do something that's different. Why should people, go to you? What sets you apart? Whether you're trying to, date again, or apply for a job, or start your own business, or do some other creative project, or get someone to be on board with something you're doing. Like, how can you sell it so that you stand out? And you're not just like everybody else and their mom or whatever. I don't know. Sorry. But, you go from the 4 to the 5. I love that. Let's see, any other. So we have 22, 222, number synchronicity. That's like finding balance. Okay. What else do we have? We have 1010. So that comes up a lot. That's a sign of a new path awaiting for you. For the Hierophant here, sharing your knowledge. There's something here about sharing your knowledge for some of you. And sometimes we are the mentor and sometimes we need the mentor. So there could be something here with that. There's also something, kind of be like being flexible. Also be flexible on how your blessings come in. This is a sign of blessings, the Hierophant card. It can also be a sign of your own spiritual wisdom too. Maybe it's a business having to do with spirituality or healing or helping others even that you're considering. This is a great time to figure out how could you balance it all. Is there a way you can work this dream into your reality and then make it a reality of its own? So there's a shift that is needed. I kind of want to get some of the garden variety cards here. Very August energy, I feel. Let's see. Again, this isn't your August reading. This is just a reading. But I did your August reading, as you know. I did Leo New Moon. Lots of different. This is star activation energy. This is for a lot of us too. This is stepping into our Emperor or Empress level of abundance. Okay, those are some of the titles from the last reading. It really is our time to fly. It's time. It's here. Time has arrived. The time has come. Makes me think of like Lucy. I love Lucy and Ricky. When the baby was going to be born, he just like announces it all formal, like the time has come. I don't know. That's just what I get. Anyway. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. All right. Maybe I shouldn't. All right. So you have plum preservation here. I'm going to see what this is about. You have ingenuity, right? There it is. Don't be afraid to be shocking. They're shocking. We're going to be shocking. Funny, right? Okay. Anyway, complexity, renewal. Again, this is reviving something like a dream or a plan, something you've been wanting to do. You may have felt before like, oh, there's so many layers to it. It's so complex. Is it though? Is it really? Is like living a happy life that complicated? I mean, maybe we need to just find some simple joys. I'm not trying to, make it seem like, oh, you came here and your problems are so simple. Come on, go do this. No, I'm not trying to do that. But it's like, really questioning, why aren't we? What is in the? I look at this sort of like you're having some reservation with regard to something. We've been reserving something, maybe like a great idea. You don't want to put it out there, maybe. There's something about this plum card. I'm almost getting a little bit of like sarcasm. There's decadence here. Good. Okay. You can have it all. I want to tell you that. You can have it all. There's something to know about that. I do need to tap into this for a moment, this plum preservation card. Let me see here. It feels kind of, I'm hearing like a British accent, like something being almost like a jolly kind of energy. This is a very, it's I just heard the phrase like the joke's on you. I don't know why I'm hearing that. I'm clairaudience, so I don't know what to tell you as far as like why I'm hearing that, but it's kind of, it's almost like some of you, almost like you're afraid. It could be that the block is that you're afraid to go into something because it has a lot of moving parts and you almost like don't want to look foolish. That's kind of what it seems like. But then I have because I have this like innocence too. And it kind of feels very much beginner, new. It's almost, is this too good to be true? Is something too good to be true? That could be something that you're wondering, that if I go forward with this, is it too crazy? Is it too complex? Can I really do this and still do that? Can I really have it all? And I feel like, yeah, the answer is yes. Yes, we can have it all. We can. Let's see. You have the Devil card here. This is, again, it's that I am getting this like jokes on you kind of energy. Not that the joke is on you. It's who's questioning your ability to be successful with whatever this is you want to do. Who is it? Or just if it's simply have a good life. Like who is really in the way here? Should you trust them? Should you trust that voice, that ugly voice, that devilish voice that's keeping you stuck, that's making you feel weighed down, that's in your head? Should we like, that's not your intuition. If you're wondering, if you're getting like, oh, well, I got a sign not to do this, and it keeps blocking your success, your ability to move forward, but you keep getting signs, air quotes, you keep getting signs not to do it, I would actually spend some time digging into that. Are we holding back out of fear of looking like a fool, like I said before, or fear of upsetting the norm, or just scared of our own success? Would it be too much if, you start your little business and then it takes off? Like, what are you afraid of here? It's like, is it real? And the devil, no, it's not real. It's like this energy, I'm saying, this energy here, this feels like the illusion. This feels more like reality. This is like you setting yourself kind of free. Again, balance, moderation, rewriting the story. But there's something in the way, like blocking the success. Okay. It could be betrayals. It can also be that not wanting to hurt anyone. That's part of this. It can be feeling as though almost like being strategic is somehow being like a slime ball or something. And it's not. That's not. Like, it might be like some of you have a really hard time being in anything that feels like conflict. But notice, like, so 3 swords are on the ground and the other 2 are behind. So it's kind of like this person is now they're away from this fight, this conflict. But why are they still there? They haven't actually moved on. They could. I feel like you've been fighting something that's been messy. It could have been a relationship, it could have been a job, but there's some sort of conflict here. And it feels like even if you won, you lost. It wasn't as like, it's not like a smooth finish kind of energy. Remember, I was feeling like smooth edges. That's what you have coming in. The very beginning of the reading, when I saw the sea glass, I thought of how, sea glass is formed because it used to be very sharp and jagged edges, and then it gets tumbled around in the water. You could say that's connected to emotions and life in general, and then it becomes smooth again. It becomes smooth, something that's smooth, right? And not so jagged. And so maybe some of you are moving from an energy where things have been very pointed, and like, you did this, and like a lot of blame and the shame, and you're moving into a place where you're able to have better focus, where you're able to have more like agency in your life. And maybe some of you, though, you're still stuck in like a pattern or a routine. And there's the Hermit. There's the Hermit. Because not everything is actually a battle that needs to be fought. But one battle, you cannot be going against yourself. And the Hermit, it's like you need to trust your inner wisdom. Do what you need to do. And also, once you get your wisdom, remember to come down from the mountain and like, share your loveliness with the world again. Okay. This is about coming from darkness into the light again, right? And that's what this whole thing is about. I feel like I could cry right now because I feel like this is like, I just kind of exposed something like big here. And like I said, this is something you would need to go deeper. If the devil is blocking your success and you think you're getting signs not to move forward, that's not your intuition. Your intuition has like your best, highest good in mind here, or whatever. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? That's the focus of that. That's how you know if it's your intuition. But if it's like just to keep you small and shut in and shut down and scared and again, jagged edges, that's not your intuition. That's not anything that would be helpful either. If it's coming from other people, if you're around people and you feel like they have jagged edges or you do, that's not the right situation. That's like entanglement stuff, like where you feel like you are energetically linked, but not in a good way. It's like the devilish way, as opposed to like the choice of the lovers where you have that say and that authority. The Hermit trusts himself though, and he trusts the world around him or the universe or his guides to provide the insight he needs, or she. Okay. So this is about you preparing to leave behind distractions, leave behind the noise, leave behind the arguing, the battles, leave behind the excess, the addiction, whatever it is, whatever that devil is for you. This is telling you to take a break if you need it. Take a break and get clear. What else do we have for the lovely Libra collective? Okay, I almost said Knight. King of Swords. Clarity, breakthrough, boom, there it is. Coming after that Hermit time, right? Remember I was getting couch potato over here? Yeah, maybe some of you are, you felt like you haven't gotten anything done. Well, guess what? If you've come from a period of stagnancy or a period where you've had to kind of be like hermited from the world for whatever reason, illness or injury or layoffs, whatever it is, you're not feeling your best self, maybe something about yourself you're not liking or whatever, and you're not really wanting to put yourself out there, maybe now we're going to get a little more clarity. This is truth. This is determination. Yeah, this is someone who is in control of their thoughts. And if we can master our mind and master our thoughts and our emotions, we can really, and tap into our own ingenuity and intuition. We can really, there's nothing we can't do, but it's about focus, and focus on what you wish to see. Don't focus on the hardships and the past battles and all that if you can help it. And if you need to, work with professionals, right? Some of this is hard and requires help. Sometimes we need a Hierophant in our life, a counselor or somebody. What else do we have? You have the High Priestess, my goodness. And now, so there's look at this bottom row so far. Look at this, look at that. That's amazing. High Priestess. It can also be another card, like, yes, going within. But the difference I feel here with the Hermit and the High Priestess is the High Priestess, things are more flowy. Look at the jagged of the Hermit and the darkness, and then there's more of the light here with the High Priestess, because they're more connected, right? We don't have to go to extremes to tap in. You don't have to go to the top of a mountain, right, to be a spiritual person. And a lot of us, you don't necessarily go to church in order to be spiritual or religious or feel connected, right? It's the same kind of thing. Moderation. That's what this is. Avoid going to extremes. And there's the Nine of Pentacles. And what do we have? It could be an unconventional approach. It's something you haven't thought of, but you could be, this isn't just newness, it's renewal. So there's something from that you've already thought of. There's something here that you've already been meditating on, or you've already received signs. Okay, you've already received the signs. That's what I want to say about this reading. You've already come here knowing you've already received the signs. Now, what are you going to do about it, right? Do you feel ready? I can't tell you when you're ready. You know when you're ready. But the Nine of Pentacles, that's self-sufficiency. That's a can-do attitude. You have the Sun here too with it. You have this person, basking in the fruits of their labor. This is somebody who's only going up. This is on top of the Emperor. And there's that putting down responsibilities that just have you feeling stuck and trapped, like back to this. Some of you might be thinking you're on your way, you're going to, restart your life. And then there's like this connection. I'm getting like an energetic connection back to this yuck, this ugliness, maybe something that went on a while ago. And maybe because of the Mercury retrograde, I'm not an astrologer, but maybe because of that, it's coming back and like trying to tempt you almost to like to shrink yourself again. If I'm too much, go find less. That's sort of that kind of energy. So there's no such thing as you being too much of you. We're here to be ourselves, to be happy, right? This is like everything is subjective, right? Okay, you have the Four of Wands. Look at that. Look at the unity here. Things falling into place. We need to remember the end goal. And remember how far you've come, right? I get that with this Four of Wands. And it can be a card of marriage, sure, but it's more about alignment. It is a card that keeps showing up for us. It is the 1111 card. And that's a sign, of divine intervention, protection, divine timing. We can't necessarily be totally in control of when things happen for us or exactly how they come in. We do need to be open. And then one thing I was getting off this Hierophant was, which I don't normally get, is be open to how your blessings come in. Be flexible, right? So there's that. And it makes sense because it's like looking at the bigger picture. We want to make sure we're not limiting ourselves in some way. But this looks really good. Some of you really are. You're moving on from a very dark time into this beautiful, blossoming light, just lightness, right? Knight of Swords. Impulsive decisions right now, moving too quickly is not the greatest idea. There could be some complexities that you didn't consider even. But that's why we have like the reminders to get clear, really tap in, tune in for yourselves. There it is again. I mean, I just say the card and here it comes. Tap and tune in for yourself. Get clarity. There it is. And then it has the butterflies too. Transformation. Remember, we have to allow for the slow season too. And, like nature needs winter, right? All the seasons are necessary in order to have that abundance, that growth that we're looking for, that leads to the ultimate happiness, prosperity, harmony, whatever it is you're striving for. But we do, you'll notice this is like foliage, it's fallen, but new butterflies are emerging from it, from something that may have seemed like done or useless, or maybe something you have is a gift and it's not actually useless. Maybe you have something that other people just don't. It's unique, and that's what sets you apart. So do remember that could be what leads you to be able to be self-sufficient. So think about what your gifts are. That's your schoolhouse homework, okay? But yeah, this is freeing yourself from any sort of trap too. Two of Wands. Planning, getting out of the comfort zone. Look, they have this like opportunity in hand, but then there's this but are they actually stuck? No. They can just free themselves from that. There's something that you can untangle from. There's that word again, tangle, untangle, entanglement. that actually, once you do that, you're going to feel a lot freer. And it's a lot easier to manifest from a space that matches where we want to go than it is to, let's say, be at work that you can't, a job you can't stand, and trying to like manifest. So, you know, I don't encourage you to like manifest a new job sitting at your work desk at a job you do not like, right? Like, you know, maybe get out in nature, feel closer to the divine. Like, just a thought, you know. But it can be hard to see where things are going and how great things could be, coming from, if you're still in like a dark place, or if you're still feeling the effects of like your immediate surroundings. So if you can get away for a little bit, or just, you know, and I feel like that's going to help with your growth, with your planning of your growth in the direction you want to go. And there's the King of Wands. Yeah, there's this King of Wands has choices. They have options. See, they also, there's you know, they really look like they're ready to go, don't they? They're very open to receiving. And they also share their like, it's kind of like what they receive, they then kind of implement. That's what I get. There's the 10 of Pentacles, a 10 of abundance. Some of you may have even inherited some gifts from others. It can be a card of inheritance, period, but I feel like it could also be an inheritance of like traits even, you know. The 10 of Pentacles, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. These are like your long-term goals here. Here's the passion, and here's it leading to, you know, the overall, like, maybe happy home, happy family. Some of you, all you've ever wanted is a family where, and it's sad. I get it. It's like, now you have a bunch of fives in your reading, okay? You have the 5 of swords. You have the 5 of wands. You have the 5 of cups. You have the Hierophant. I think when I was flipping, I might have seen the 5 of Pentacles. I mean, you have like all these fives, but that's you're ready for this transformation. You've been in conflict with yourself for a while, I feel, and it's like you there could be just this, again, something else that needs to be cleared. I know a lot of you've already done the work, and maybe you don't want to hear that, but there is more to be cleared out, and in order to like cross that bridge and receive your crown. It's interesting how they have the bridge be like a crown. 8 of Cups, we have to move on, right? There's, I mean, that's usually the card of the eclipse too, and we don't necessarily know what's going. We know there'll be challenges, right? Like, say you want to move out on your own, there's going to be challenges to doing that. But I love how the Magician, there it is, the Magician in the world. I mean, like, come on. I mean, some of you are counting the days, or counting on something. You can count on this. You can count on manifesting the reality you wish to be in, receive. I'm hearing someone go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. So either you have a connection to Mississippi, or you are counting something. You're counting maybe your blessings. You're counting on something to come through. And I'm getting that energy of like, you can count on this. You can count on, you can like bank on something. So yeah, you have this, but you can't lose your focus, right? And you have to be willing, when an opportunity comes your way, you got to be willing to look up, take it, receive it, be grateful for it, and turn it into many cycles of growth. Oh, I have chills. I have my crown chakra, everything. Okay. They have to actually look up though. Right? They actually have to use their ability. They're going to have to use their own intuition too, this Magician. This is about you being insightful and again, like in that Queen of Wands, but also being inspired, you know, and manifesting from a higher place. Again, we can't manifest what we want from this dark and gloomy place. We've got to get in that energy, get the momentum going. Magician has to do with, you know, having all those resources, getting that momentum going even, right? You start to see maybe small indications, little ching magic. And, you know, this, you know, maybe when someone uses, you know, they learn magic, they actually start with smaller things, right? And then it can turn into something big, and wow, they're on their way. So just realize that You have resources that you can use. Please take advantage of them. Okay, let yourself be encouraged. This is about building from what you have, from where you are. Start from where you are in order to get this Hello, Libras. There was a slight little hiccup in the reading, so we're going to move on to the surrender cards. But the slight little hiccup was it kind of cut me off of where I was in the middle of talking about the world and how we need to start from where we are, at the place of the magician. Start with the resources you have. You may have a little more than you realize, so maybe we need to dig a little deeper or look at the bigger picture. So we kind of need to zoom in and zoom out, perhaps. And it's funny because we go from a starting place to it's an ending place. I mean, the Fool is actually the starting place, but yeah, we go all the way from 1 to 21, and that's it's like, what do you want to? What do you wish to see in your reality? Can you make it so? Maybe you can. Maybe you actually have way more power than you realize. Maybe you've been preserving your energy and your power and your resources, and now maybe you're ready to get started with something. Surrender to silence. Hermit card energy, right? So in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. And surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance, devil energy, right? And banish any doubt that miracles can happen. That is so important right now. Let's get some galactic angel messages for us along those same lines. If you enjoy this reading, please do like the video, subscribe, become a member. I'd love to have you. Your angels are aligning the moving parts. All is coming together in divine timing. It's you working with your angels, I feel. Stargazing. Remember I was saying look up. It's important for the magician to look up. Look up or look above and connect to the light of the universe. Let it replenish your soul. Beautiful cards. And let's get us a few animal cards. You know I love to end with the angel numbers and animal cards. All right, what do we have for the Libra Collective, please? The Power Animals Oracle by Britta Bowman here. All the decks I use are below. Sea Lion. Leopard. Wow. So practice the art of going with the flow and don't forget to celebrate. Three of Cups. Many moments of joy. Leopard here with embrace your wild, confident nature and conquer any terrain with elegance and courage. That is what I have for you. I do hope this helped. Feel free to drop a comment below. And thank you so much for being here, Libra Collective.